I think I'm basically talking about myself in this one.
I am tired of being a waitress.
For me, it was just so sad.
The 1970s produced some of the most iconic songs, but many came with heartbreaking backstories. From Imagine by John Lennon to Shannon by Henry Gross,
Imagine all the people.
how did these tragic tales shape our understanding of their music? Join us as we explore the stories behind 20 hit songs from this unforgettable decade.
Imagine all the people.
Imagine by John Lennon became one of the most famous songs ever. It was part of his album Imagine and quickly became a bestseller, reaching number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the US. The song featured a gentle piano melody and hopeful lyrics, making it a timeless anthem for peace.
Below us.
The story behind Imagine was quite tragic. John Lennon wrote the song during a time of deep disappointment. The 1970s were filled with major global conflicts and social unrest, which affected him greatly. He struggled with the harsh realities of war, political issues, and the loss of the idealism that had defined the 1960s. Despite its hopeful message, the song revealed Lennon's inner struggles and desire for a better world. Imagine captures a yearning for peace amidst turmoil. Now, what deeper truths about life and death does Bob Dylan reveal in Knockin' on Heaven's Door? Let's explore.
I can't see through them anymore.
Knockin' on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan became popular after it was included in the film Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. The song quickly climbed in the top 10 in many countries. Its simple yet haunting melody, paired with Dylan's touching lyrics, struck a chord with listeners. The song explored the inevitability of death and the uselessness of violence. It was told from the viewpoint of a dying sheriff who faced his fate. The line, "Mama, take this badge off of me, I can't use it anymore," expressed a deep sense of resignation and acceptance.
Mama, take this badge off of me.
This theme of accepting one's destiny in the face of death added a tragic feel to the song. Despite its serious message, Knockin' on Heaven's Door was covered by many artists and remained one of Dylan's most lasting songs, continuing to resonate with new generations. Landslide by Fleetwood Mac was a song from their self-titled album released in 1975. Written by Stevie Nicks, it quickly became one of the band's favorite songs, even though it was not released as a single at first. Over the years, its popularity increased, and many artists covered it, securing its place in music history. Stevie Nicks created Landslide during a time of uncertainty in her personal and professional life.
Oh, mirror in the sky.
While in Aspen, Colorado, she considered her future and thought about leaving the music industry if her career with Fleetwood Mac did not succeed. The lyrics expressed her fears of aging and not reaching her dreams, as well as the inevitable changes life brings. Lines like, "I've been afraid of changing because I built my life around you," captured her vulnerability and deep reflection.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
Fire and Rain by James Taylor became a hit after its release in August of 1970 as part of his second album, Sweet Baby James. The song quickly climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Its gentle melody and heartfelt lyrics contributed to its status as a timeless classic. James Taylor wrote Fire and Rain during a challenging time in his life, reflecting on the suicide of his close friend, Suzanne Schnurr. While in London recording his first album, he learned about her death, which had been hidden from him for several months. The song also expressed his struggles with addiction and his time in a mental institution. The lyrics, "I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end,"
I've seen sunny days that I thought would never.
conveyed his feelings of loss and despair, making the song deeply personal and resonant with listeners.
Grown up just like me, my boy.
Cats in the Cradle by Harry Chapin became a hit when it was released as part of his album Verities and Balderdash. The song quickly reached number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100, making it Chapin's only song to achieve this success. Its heartfelt lyrics and folk rock sound resonated with many listeners. The story depicted a father who was too busy to spend time with his son.
I arrived just the other day. He came to the world.
As the son grew, he repeatedly sought his father's attention, but the father remained preoccupied with work and other obligations. By the time the father had free time, the son had grown up and was now too busy for him, reflecting his father's earlier behavior. This cycle of missed chances and regret was captured in the lyrics, and the cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, Little Boy Blue and the Man in the Moon. The song drew inspiration from a poem written by Chapin's wife Sandy based on her own experiences. By neglecting meaningful connections, what lessons can we learn about love and loss in Purple Rain? Let's explore. Purple Rain by Prince was a hit song that came out in 1984 as part of the album and movie the same name. This track became one of his most famous songs, mixing elements of rock, rhythm and blues, gospel, and orchestral music. It climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and has remained a cherished classic over the years. The song's emotional depth stems from its tragic backstory. Prince used Purple Rain to symbolize a comforting place amidst pain and hardship. The lyrics captured the sadness of lost love and the end of a significant chapter in life, themes that resonated with many listeners. His powerful performance and the haunting melody heightened its emotional effect. Purple Rain was not only a commercial success, but also received critical acclaim, winning Prince his first Grammy Award and confirming his status as a superstar.
Oh, baby, baby, it's a wild world.
Wild World by Cat Stevens became one of his most popular songs after its release in September of 1970 as part of the album Tea for the Tillerman. It reached number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100, capturing listeners with its catchy tune and heartfelt lyrics. The song was inspired by Stevens' breakup with actress Patty D. Arbanville, reflecting his feelings of concern and sadness over her departure.
I tried to make a second comeback.
He worried about how she would handle the challenges of life on her own. This emotional honesty is what gave the song its lasting appeal. Wild World expresses the bittersweet emotions of love and loss, making it relatable for anyone who has gone through a tough breakup.
Acts like she don't care, but I remember.
The River by Bruce Springsteen was recorded in 1979 and became the title track of his fifth album released in 1980. The song was a major hit, especially in Europe, reaching the top 10 in Sweden and Norway. It featured a haunting harmonica and poignant lyrics that resonated with many listeners. The tragic backstory of the song reflected the struggles of working-class Americans. Springsteen wrote The River about his sister and brother-in-law, whose dreams were crushed by economic hardship. The lyrics narrated the story of a young couple facing the harsh realities of life, highlighting the loss of innocence and the toll of economic struggles on their relationship. This theme of lost dreams and lingering hope gave the song its emotional impact, making it a powerful anthem for those experiencing similar hardships. Springsteen's story of lost dreams resonates deeply. How does McLean capture the beauty of tragedy next? Let's explore.
And the winter chills in colors on...
Vincent, also known as Starry Starry Night, was a touching story by Don McLean. It came out in 1971 on his album American Pie. The song served as a heartfelt tribute to the Dutch painter Vincent van Gogh, highlighting the struggles of his troubled life and tragic death. McLean wrote the song after reading a biography about Van Gogh that moved him deeply. Vincent gained great popularity, reaching number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100 and staying at the top of the UK singles chart for 2 weeks in 1972. The song's gentle melody and powerful lyrics created a vivid picture of Van Gogh's battles with mental illness and his feelings of loneliness. McLean's poignant words, "This world was never meant for one as beautiful as you," captured the essence of Van Gogh's tragic end as he took his own life at the age of 37.
in the sky. No, that's...
Seasons in the Sun by Terry Jacks quickly became a global hit after its release in 1974. The song reached the top of the charts in more than 12 countries, including the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada. Belgian singer Jacques Brel originally wrote it under the title Les Moribonds, and poet Rod McEwen adapted it into English. The lyrics conveyed a farewell message from a dying man to his loved ones, expressing the sadness of leaving those he cherished and the inevitability of death. Phrases like, "Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die," highlighted the deep sorrow and acceptance of the main character's situation.
Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die.
Terry Jacks' gentle voice, combined with the melancholic melody, added to the song's emotional depth, allowing it to resonate powerfully with listeners around the world. Tears of a Clown by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles was released in 1970 and quickly became a hit. The song reached number 1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 and the UK Singles Chart. It was originally recorded in 1967 and written by Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, and Hank Cosby. The cheerful circus-like melody created a stark contrast with the sad lyrics. It told the story of a person who hides their deep sorrow behind a happy appearance, similar to a clown who smiles on the outside but cries on the inside. The line, "Just like Pagliacci did, I try to keep my sadness hid," referred to the well-known opera character who also concealed his pain with a smile. This blend of upbeat music and poignant storytelling resonated with many listeners, making the song a timeless classic that captured the complexity of human emotions. Tears of a Clown reveals how we mask our pain. How does Dust in the Wind reflect on life's fragility? Let's explore this profound shift.
Everything is dust in the wind.
Dust in the Wind by Kansas was a well-known song from their album Point of No Return, released in 1977. This track became one of the band's most popular songs, reaching number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in 1978. It marked Kansas's first acoustic song and solidified its place in classic rock history. The lyrics reflect on how life is temporary and how death is unavoidable. Guitarist Kerry Livgren wrote Dust in the Wind after being inspired by a book of Native American poetry, which made him think deeply about existence. The memorable line, "All we are is dust in the wind," expressed the idea of human mortality and the fleeting nature of our lives.
All they are is dust in the wind.
This powerful message resonated with many listeners and contributed to the song's lasting impact on music and culture. Love Hurts by Nazareth was a powerful rock ballad that deeply connected with listeners. Originally written by Boudleaux Bryant and first recorded by the Everly Brothers in 1960, Nazareth's version became the most famous. The song became a huge hit, reaching number 1 in several countries, including Norway, where it topped the charts for 14 weeks. Despite its popularity, Love Hurts was known for its emotional lyrics that explored the painful aspects of love. The raw emotion and haunting melody captured the heartache and disappointment that accompanied relationships. Lead singer Dan McCafferty's gritty vocals added to the song's intensity, making it a timeless anthem for anyone who experienced the darker side of love. Its powerful message and unforgettable melody allowed it to resonate through the years, cementing its place in rock music history as a classic that spoke to the struggles of love. I Will Always Love You by Dolly Parton was a heartfelt country ballad that touched millions. Dolly wrote this song as a farewell to her mentor and business partner, Porter Wagoner, when she decided to leave his show to follow her own path. The song became a major hit, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart in both 1974 and 1982. Its popularity grew even more when Whitney Houston covered it for the 1992 movie The Bodyguard, making it one of the best-selling singles of all time. Despite its success, the song carried a deeply emotional and tragic backstory. It reflected Dolly's gratitude and sadness as she said goodbye to an important chapter in her life. The lyrics expressed a bittersweet mix of love and sorrow, capturing the pain of parting from someone who had a crucial impact on her career. Dolly's heartfelt goodbye in I Will Always Love You leaves us asking, what heartbreak lies ahead in Angie? Let's explore the emotional depths of this iconic song. Angie by the Rolling Stones was a haunting ballad that captured the essence of heartbreak. Featured on their album Goat's Head Soup, the song quickly climbed the charts, reaching number 1 on the United States Billboard Hot 100 and number 5 in the United Kingdom. Written by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, Angie reflected the end of a difficult relationship, though the exact inspiration remained a topic of speculation. The song's poignant lyrics and sad melody conveyed the deep pain and sadness of letting go. Mick Jagger's soulful vocals, along with the acoustic guitar and piano, created a powerful emotional impact. The line, "Angie, Angie, when will those clouds all disappear?" resonated with anyone who experienced the lingering emotional scars of separation.
He said to tell my Mary.
Mother and Child Reunion by Paul Simon was a touching song that mixed reggae music with heartfelt lyrics. It was the lead single from his second solo album and climbed to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song's distinctive sound came from recording in Jamaica with local musicians, which gave it an authentic reggae vibe. The inspiration for Mother and Child Reunion was deeply personal and tragic. Paul Simon wrote it after his dog was hit by a car and died, marking the first time he faced death closely. This experience led him to think about loss and separation. The title was inspired by a chicken and egg dish he saw on a Chinese restaurant menu. Still, the lyrics explored the sadness of parting and the inevitability of death, capturing the emotional weight of these themes beautifully.
Daniel, my brother, you are.
Daniel by Elton John was a popular song from the album Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player, released in 1973. Written by Elton John and Bernie Taupin, the song reached number 2 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and number 4 in the U.K., also topping the charts in Canada. The lyrics told a moving story about a Vietnam War veteran who returned home but felt out of place and disconnected from his former life. Taupin was inspired by a story about a soldier who wanted to avoid the attention he received after coming back from the war. The song captured the feelings of alienation and longing for peace that many veterans experienced. The line, "Daniel, my brother, you're older than me," emphasizes the bond between the narrator and his brother, adding a personal element to the emotional narrative.
On a Greyhound bus, cast out by the ones he loves.
The Killing of Georgie, Part 1 and 2 by Rod Stewart, was released on the album A Night on the Town in 1976. This song, written by Stewart, reached number 2 on the UK singles chart and also charted in the United States and Canada. It tells the tragic story of Georgie, a gay friend of Stewart's who was killed in a hate crime. The song is split into 2 parts. Part 1 describes Georgie's life, including his coming out to his parents and his move to New York City, where he found acceptance and love. Sadly, his happiness ended when a gang murdered him in an act of violence. Part 2 reflects on Georgie's death and its impact on those who knew him. Stewart was inspired by the real-life murder of a close friend, making the song deeply personal and highlighting the devastating effects of prejudice and violence against the LGBTQ+ community. Georgie's tragic story highlights deep loss and love. What emotional journey awaits in Shannon? Let's explore. Shannon by Henry Gross became a hit after its release in 1976. This song climbed to number 6 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and reached number 1 in Canada and New Zealand. Henry Gross wrote this song as a tribute to a cherished dog named Shannon. A conversation inspired him with Carl Wilson of the Beach Boys, who had recently lost his dog, also named Shannon. The heartfelt lyrics and calming melody resonated deeply with listeners who experienced the pain of losing a pet. Losing a pet can feel as devastating as losing a human friend or a family member, and Shannon captured this shared emotion of grief and love. The song's success was not only measured by its chart performance, but also by the emotional impact it had on people, making it a timeless piece that continues to connect with audiences. The Living Years by Mike and the Mechanics was a soft rock ballad that became a global hit after its release in December of 1988, reaching #1 in the United States, Australia, Canada, and Ireland. The song was written by B.A. Robertson and Mike Rutherford, featuring lead vocals by Paul Carrick. Its poignant backstory centered on unresolved issues between a son and his deceased father. Both Robertson and Rutherford drew inspiration from their own experiences of losing their fathers and the regrets that accompanied those losses. The lyrics express the deep pain and missed chances for communication and healing, resonating with many listeners. The Living Years not only topped the charts, but also won the Ivor Novello Award for Best Song Musically and Lyrically in 1989. It received several Grammy Award nominations, showcasing its emotional depth and wide appeal across audiences.